Right now we're on.
All right. Yeah.
Chris,
It's been a minute.
I mean, you're a busy guy.
You're a busy guy.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I think you're
I wouldn't say that.
busy, very busy. Episode 30, we're going to do a quick rundown. We're going to call this episode, Where Do We Go From Here?
Wasn't that a song? Where do we go from here?
I'm sure it is, but
Yeah,
more
a line.
philosophically speaking. But
A line from a song.
we've been gone for about 17 days in some form or fashion, but we got a few things to talk about. I mean, the whole country's talking about, is Vegas done, dead, or do we need a do-over? SNL hires and fires. NCAA and NFL, both are back, so we're going to talk some sports. So the Fed cut the rates today. That's a hot topic.
Woo.
Here we go. Ben & Jerry Greenfield resigns after 47 years in the ice cream business recently. So them and parent company Unilever apparently don't see eye to eye.
Big surprise, an activist and a mega corporation. So weird.
Oh, you're just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Yep. We just left a big events weekend, so we're going to talk about if that's the template in the future for Las Vegas. Talk about continued fan first pricing, and then we're going to talk about Charlie, not Wonka. So we will be right back.
Captain Kirk?
Episode 30.
Or Captain Jurek?
That's for conversation. Here we go.
The sun is up, time to embark. Forget the rules, we'll make a mark. From bar to bar, the world's our stage. With Darren and Chris, we're turning the page.
We're back. Episode 30. Don't forget, guys, if you're out there on social media, have any questions for us, we are questions@vegasdaydrinkers.com.
You look like you were questioning what you were about to say.
Yeah, we're recording late on the Wednesday, so we're usually out of sorts a bit, but we had to get it done for you, the people.
That's right. So episode 30, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? Let's talk about the big gorilla in the room. Is Vegas dead? I mean, national media is talking about it, local influencers, local media, CNBC, MSNBC, Fox News, putting all those rates out there, these crazy pricings. What do you think? We've talked about it before.
I just think it's another animal that's what is social media, outrage sells. And so people are posting this to get clicks, and people are like, nah, and people are like, yeah. And I sent you that video the other day of Major Lazer shutting down Fremont Street.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people showed up for the concert. We just had that massive fight with Canelo and Crawford. Big upset. That was a sold out fight at Allegiant.
Right.
And not to mention the 4 other concerts going on, other sporting events. No, it's just, you know what they say, no, any exposure is good exposure. Bad exposure, Vegas, I think they just spend a whole bunch of money on a marketing campaign, right? What was it called? Fabulous. Welcome to Fabulous.
Welcome to Fabulous.
And I think next week they're going to do some Black Friday special for all the hotels.
Right, 5 days or something. They're going to do in the ilk of Amazon Prime Days or whatever.
So this is what else. This is the only thing I really add to it. I keep a red book, and for those that don't know, that maybe not in the restaurant business, red book is a note-taking book where you talk about the weather, times of day you're busy, what's going on in town. I don't really keep all the details, but every year this time of year it's slow, and so I haven't even noticed that much of a drop in business though, and at least in my money in my intake. There was a couple of weeks where it's slow, but my intake's actually better than it has been over the last couple of years.
Has it?
So I'm not going to say, I'm making, that's one thing I freaking hate on the internet is people that post how much money they make in tips.
Yeah.
I think that is the dumbest thing.
Well, yeah, I think that's tacky, never to be discussed. I mean, we can all talk about different numbers, but I mean, obviously my income's gone down a bit this summer and into the fall as independently the bar that I work at the airport is going through some licensing restrictions. So that's decimated my income by a little bit more.
Yeah, you have exterior circumstances, yeah, which I think is crazy because should I say it? Can I say it? I think it's just some swinging dick, some executive that just think he's tough shit, and he's like, this is the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
And that's the problem when you have these fucking idiots making policy for everybody. It just doesn't work for everybody. Yeah, it works for certain people, but not everybody. So,
right.
fuck executives.
And the county business office and whoever made these decisions, I was like, last time I checked, you guys take in money because it is for profit. We're not doing a non-profit.
Yeah, I mean, aren't we capitalists? Capitalists make money where you can make money. And is this not Sin City?
Yeah, it is.
It takes the sin out of Sin City, then we're dead.
I mean, it's one of those almost undeniable rights at the airport is where if you wanted to go drink as an option, you definitely wanted to go drink. You wanted to tell them that. I mean, the Sunday before Labor Day weekend, Monday, it was a high tick, but I told no less than 30 people, I'm sorry, I can't give you a to-go drink right now. And they looked at me like I had 6 heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, why? And then you kind of go through my template of like a quick explanation, but by being reasonable. And they're just like, so,
on that note, let's have a to-go drink, Chris.
So on that note, last week, my Wednesday went a little crazy. And I was picking up some Miller High Life champagne and beer stubbies.
Oh, yeah, where'd you get those?
Well, they're back in the market.
Must have been some demand.
So they're back in the market, but they're only supposed to be for exclusive accounts. So I know one of those accounts.
Silver Sale?
I would imagine. I haven't been there recently, but Jive Turkey.
Jive Turkey, okay.
So I reached out to the people at Breakthrough, and then we were able to procure some of those. So I was going to pick those up at the airport. My friend Henning texted me, and he's with Candor Spirits with the green and white tea, ready to drink. And then he was telling me that he worked the Crab Corner Festival over the weekend and met Glenn from Neon Desert Brewing, who we
Small world.
Yeah, who we interviewed a few weeks back with him.
Yeah.
And Jimmy. And we're out there talking, and I noticed these cans in the refrigerator, the takeaway, that it was from the Star Trek weekend, not too many weekends ago, that you work and attended. And their branding is the Star Trek Las Vegas convention, the holodeck heavy. So Glenn being so nice, I said, can I grab a couple of those for the podcast? And here we are.
So this is a perfect example of what capitalism is that these people, they run the largest Star Trek convention in Las Vegas and around the world, but they refuse to work with the people that own the license, which is the people that own Star Trek, Paramount, Skydance. And so they will not pay a licensing fee, so they can't actually have any imagery that is Star Trek. They can make it Star Trek adjacent. So I think it's funny that they won't even pay for, the people that created their livelihood, they won't give them a cut of the action, which is crazy. And I don't know how, I'm sure there's legal, they don't use any Star Trek references. They allude to it. But anyway, this hef is amazing.
So yeah, this is, and one of their abilities out there is that they are a small brewery and they are very nimble and they can private label and make labels quite quickly. So what is normally a Vice City Hefeweizen, which is very traditional German style, for this event was rebranded as the holodeck.
Speaking of what, Oktoberfest has begun, right?
It has begun.
When is the official kickoff?
I believe it began last weekend.
So
we're into the season, which was part of the reason I was out there, because the airport bar I work at, Lucky Streak, we're putting on, I believe, what is the only local fest beer in the airport. We've rebranded their fest beer as the Fest Flyer for the next 6 weeks. So
for your bar?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're carrying it?
We take delivery tomorrow, Thursday, the 18th. So if you're flying through Las Vegas and want to support local and have a good, tasty 6.4% Meritzen style fest beer, we'll have it on draft.
I'd also add that if you are doing a special event, like let's say you're getting married and you have a big crowd, you can actually have your own beers made. I think there's like a couple case minimum.
Yeah.
And they'll do the labels for you. They'll can it for you, whatever style of beer you want. So you can hand out, your own private select beer for your event.
Yeah.
And it's reasonable. I think it was just a couple $100.
Yeah, Glenn and Jimmy are pretty aggressive. But very nice people, but very aggressive in getting some shelf space and into the market. So they are quite capitalistic and entrepreneurial as far as getting their flavors out there.
Am I rubbing off on you?
Yes. Going back to is the Vegas Dead scenario, with the rollout of the new national commercial that premiered on Thursday Night Football.
I meant to watch it and I still haven't seen it.
Still haven't seen it?
No.
It's a very Broadway-esque starting downtown with a single girl kind of like pushing the wall down and suddenly being out on Fremont Street. And it's a kind of a song and dance number, if you will. And, fabulous Las Vegas. Now, it was obviously designed $2 or $3 million in production costs to go out and attract the national market, but it got a lot of criticism here in the local market. And in addition to that, the LVCVA were saying other things they're going to try and do to gather more tourism back.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to put a billboard in LA with neon around it.
Interesting.
They want to hand out bottles of H2O at check-in for thirsty travelers.
Uh-huh.
Kind of what you were talking about earlier, they wanted to do a promotion coming up similar to Prime Day, where it's like these kind of crazy kooky deals that you can sign up and down the strip. They wanted to give random guests desserts. And then, so they annually take in from
Keep talking.
the dreaded resort fees and parking they take in $460 million annually.
Okay.
So they have quite.
Cut it real quick. All right. So where were we?
We were talking about the $460 million that the LVCVA has annually as in their budget to attract more tourism and visitation, and how they're utilizing it. And the local media and the national media, more so the local media, they're being strictly scrutinized as like, that's not what we need. We don't need art. We need function. We need, basically everyone locally is saying like, get rid of parking fees, get rid of resort fees. That will get people's attention, not these hacky, give people a bottle of water at check-in. Something you should do naturally. As a human.
So like my recommendations would be simple. Get rid of the fucking ridiculous stuff in the room, like the mini fridges where they pack them full of stuff that's like $20 an item, and they put signs in there that are weighted, and if you put stuff in here, you'll get charged, and you have to pay for a fridge if you want a fridge. Just buy a bigger fridge and let people put their leftovers in there. When you go out to dinner and you pay $300 for a nice dinner and you have some leftovers and you want to put it in your room,
yeah, and
you can't because you have to pay a $50 fee for the fridge. Or, you got to move all the mini bar stuff out. Like that's ridiculous. And
then I watch some stuff as I get ready for these podcasts or these recordings. And, Steven Not Leaving Las Vegas is his YouTube channel handle, brought to a point, like he had re-aired on his page, the interview with, I want to say CNBC journalist and Bill Hornbuckle, like almost 2 Mondays ago, where he didn't come out and say the G word outright, but he said that there's things that they need to address, basically.
Yeah. Well,
and the G word being greed.
Well, also, let me just add, I get it. You built this parking structure, you want to make money, and that's, everybody in the world pays parking downtown. But, if you're a guest in the hotel, have it be included in the price of the room, and don't charge people for it. Yeah. You scan your room key, you get in. You're a player at a certain level, you should get free parking. If you're local, you should get a discount. Now, if you're just there to go to the Bellagio water show, sure, you're going to have to pay.
Sure.
But those things, that's just blatant greed.
Well, and I talked to my friend growing up today. He flew out earlier, and they went to dinner at Cleaver last night. It was 4 guys, and, with their quote unquote happy hour steaks, some entrees, and a bottle of wine. For 4 people, it was $500, And I just think that if
that's not unreasonable, for a steakhouse, $125 a head.
Yeah, but I think if the steak, if they want to get people to the strip, also is like especially like these people that live here locally, because as I didn't put it on the board, but all the local casinos are doing gangbusters right now. We went to see the country band Midland last weekend. Red Rock was jammers. Now, obviously, they knew what they were doing, putting 5,000-6,000 people in the casino for a live country act because they're going to flood right back out.
They're trying to come after the South Point.
Sure. And Durango, any of them really.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we want to go see our friend Raffo at Park MGM, and we go down there and we have breakfast or whatever, why can't you validate my parking ticket and
especially if you have dined? Like even Disney's greedy. Disney they will validate your parking as long as you spend $20 in the restaurant. That's all it has to be is $20
at Disney.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's 4 hours, but it's not like you're not going to get it. You can't go to the park all day.
Yeah,
and you still have to pay $10, but at least they validate, they don't charge you the full price.
So let me ask you this. This week they put out in the news that all summer long Resorts World had waived parking fees at the resort, But just guess what? So it happens in the same week that Zooks officially launches in Las Vegas, not exclusively at Resorts World, but they're making a big marketing push towards it. So you can go scan the app, download it, and right now ride it for free.
Yeah.
Because they're only doing limited runs to kind of just show people the technology.
Did you see, by the way, that they had to shut down a boring company because somebody died in an accident?
I did see that.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't
So boring.
It wasn't Elon's stock price, but
But see that deal he got, man, $1 trillion, something like 17 years staying with the company or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, just to finish the note is, so the same week that Zeus launches at Resorts World, again, not exclusively, but I'm interested, and I was talking to somebody, you might be interested to go check out the technology.
Yeah.
Last week, for us to go down there, free to park. This week, $21 flat rate fee.
Wow.
Yeah, it's coinciding with.
So you could get a free ride at Zoogs, but you pay $20, $21.
Right. It just, how it happens to work out. So you have this great opportunity to get people to live here locally to go down there, check it out. As busy as Wynn was from talking to my friend, Monday night, they went to Fontainebleau last night. He said it was empty, a shell, and I've heard that about Resorts World too.
You know what? I will say that I was at Disney a couple weeks ago, and it's slow, very slow there too.
Is it?
Yeah. So, and a lot of the theme parks are slower this year, and I'm seeing that all over the place. So it's not just Vegas. I think it's just in general, inflation. I think that people just don't have as much money. I think that because rent prices are so high, your discretionary money, and we've talked about this before, you don't have as much discretionary money.
Yeah, I mean,
to go out and
You said inflation, and we alluded to in the run up. Let's go into interest rates. It dropped. Was it a quarter point today?
Yeah, it dropped a quarter point. But on inflation, and the tariffs, I had to pay $65 for something that I ordered 2 years ago, and $65 on an item that was $350. I had to pay the additional $65.
Just recently?
Yeah, just recently. And then, I've noticed that, shrinkflation, where they decrease the size of a product to and then charge about the same amount of money is everywhere. It's rampant, so.
Well,
anyway,
you do see it in the fast food industry too, with some of the promotions they're coming out with, like with the Y2K with Taco Bell. I don't know why I know that so well. But then, the McDonald's CEO came out last week in the media too and said, fundamentally we have to look at pricing because as we see at McDonald's, and everyone's used a Big Mac through time as an economic barometer, we are living kind of in a two-tier economy right now,
Yeah.
And I mean, if a Big Mac value meal was, $14, I mean, for a family of five, you're in, $80, $100 with tax, and that's just not realistic for the day in and day out.
And I know rents are going down, but when, 5 years ago rent or 10 years ago rent, Vegas, $1,400, I'd say, but it's gone up, 25, 30% over that now.
Yeah.
So, and we're not making that much more money. So you're going to lose on certain things, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're just losing across the board. I mean, the price of beef has gone higher, obviously, Beef.
Perfect example. Yeah, beef, crazy, man. It was like $8 for a pound of beef. I was like, what the hell?
Gasoline, I don't know what happened in the market, but it was cruising along like high 2s, low 3s. And I know you don't worry about this because you have a Tesla. But
ding.
But suddenly jumped 40 or 50 cents a gallon in
Chris,
a short amount of time.
I've decided to choose peace in my life.
Yeah.
So I get rid of the things that anger me. So I've gotten rid of gas. Yeah. I still have gas, by the way, but just not getting gas.
This episode brought to you by Pepto-Bismol. All right. So going to a lighter subject for a second as we get ready for the fall seasons of sitcom and satire and everything else. SNL has famously let go of some of their previous cast for season 50.
Yep.
So with Lorne Michaels wanting to shake it up for season 51, I mean, most notably, there was 5 people that went away from 30 Rock, but I think for most people, the most recognizable name was Heidi Gardner.
Yeah, I mean, but she'd been there for 8 years?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good run anyway.
Yeah. So she was.
You think about any given major show last 7 seasons, so if you go longer than that, you're winning.
Yeah, and I think she's doing okay. I mean, she is
Tons of commercials.
from my hometown. Yeah, she's doing a national ad campaign with Buffalo Wild Wings
She's
right
a
now.
regular in Shrinking.
She's a regular in Shrinking.
Which I did it win any Emmys?
I don't know. It was the Seth Rogen one that took a lot this time, wasn't it?
Studio, yeah.
Studio.
The one you said you fell asleep to. I love that show. It's hilarious.
I know.
Dude.
I have to revisit it.
Speaking of Emmys, we'll get back to SNL. But did you see Nate Bargatze, his opening?
I did not.
It's hilarious. It kind of a play on his his SNL skit where he is George Washington on the Potomac.
Okay, I will have to rewatch that.
He played the creator of the television.
Okay.
And he was talking about the future potential of television, and it was with the fellow SNL castmates that redid the
I will
sketch.
have to revisit that. I went kind of down a wormhole this weekend on something else that we're going to talk about in a few bullet points here.
Sure.
So we just finished a big kind of one of these big theme weekends in Vegas where it was Mexican Independence Day. On Saturday night, you had referenced earlier the Canelo Crawford fight. On Monday night, you had the opening game of the NFL season for the Raiders versus the Chargers at Allegiant. Mm-hmm. So in a 72-hour time, Allegiant was popping. I was talking to a gentleman that said the Canelo fight brought in $47 million just at the gate alone.
Wow.
When Vegas works, it works, right?
I wonder how the book did on that fight, because it was kind of an upset, right? In the sense that,
it was, yeah.
And it was a Nebraska guy, right? Nebraska guy that won.
I think so. Nor you, I believe, are the biggest boxing guys, so I can't speak fluidly too much about it, but it was an upset. Obviously, it did have most of the country watching because for the first time, Netflix, right? So you could stream for free with your Netflix account.
Oh my gosh, we got to get into the Netflix thing or the whole streaming thing.
How do you mean?
I mean, just because Skydance just bought Paramount Plus, but did you see they just made an all cash offer for Warner Brothers?
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so just imagine the implications of that, and so maybe next episode we'll throw in some.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go.
But you had the Canelo fight. You had all these other live events. I mean, the town was buzzing. You referenced earlier the free concert downtown on Fremont Street.
Major Lazer.
That basically shut it down.
I don't even know who that is, but it looked like fun.
Yeah. Nor do I, but you sent me the TikTok video. Hi, TikTok. And it was busy. So, and if Vegas does eventually gravitate towards that, and when the sports seasons are live, because we go to these entertainment-based weekends where it's not necessarily about gambling anymore, where it's a hockey game, it's a football game, it's 2 or 3 concerts.
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life.
Did you also see with your Sphere that the success of the Wizard of Oz, what they're looking at doing now?
Oh my gosh, they're saying it's going to projected to make $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, I think they figured out the formula now, right?
I want to go see it, but $200. Hey, Sphere, if you're listening, if you want to review, right? Like they care about us.
Well, somebody put up an AI-generated image of the Sphere as the Death Star, saying that is a rumored very real possibility.
I live in that world, so I've known that rumor. I believe that the Mandalorian and Grogu, the next major Star Wars movie, will be at the Sphere.
Yeah, and
that's next summer, 2026.
May
2026.
Enhanced for the Sphere experience,
I imagine, they leaked a trailer. They played the trailer for a Star Wars fan event late last year, and it's been leaked multiple times online, and it looks cool.
Shout out to CC who reached out in DMs on TikTok. Thank you for paying attention and listening and providing some information. We look forward to meeting you soon out and about in Vegas, Day Drinkers. Have you been to Wizard of Oz there?
No, like I said, $200 to go see a movie I've seen.
Yeah, but a
bunch of times.
You've seen as many.
I'll go see Star Wars in the Sphere.
Okay.
Without a doubt, and I won't even care. Like you could tell me it's $300, and I'll be like, yeah.
The one thing I kind of, I probably want to go see it because I've seen it, and again, like you said, $200. But I mean, people are mesmerized by it, and I'm just wondering, like, in springtime or summer when we hung out with our friend Dave, who was working in some sort of pre-production on it and said it sucked.
Well, that's Dave. I mean, in a nutshell, like.
But the thing looks amazing.
Yeah, Dave doesn't like stuff.
He's being nice.
I love Dave, but he doesn't.
I love Dave. I was just like, he was so adamant about it when we hung out. And I'm like, really? And I go, okay, all right.
He's
well.
very particular though, but so as a person, and I will say this about our friend Dave, he spends a lot of time behind the scenes, so he knows how stuff works. So if you're just there for the bluster and fun of it all, and you don't know anything, great. But when you see how everything works, it changes your perspective. Like imagine working on Star Wars. You would know everything, how it's done, how they did it, what they had to do, the headaches,
Yeah.
and then you see it on screen, and you're like, wow, that's cool.
Speaking of headaches, the heartaches, have you watched the new documentary on Netflix about Charlie Sheen?
No, but I just saw his interview with Bill Maher.
Okay.
And I really think I want to read the book, but I know the documentary's on. I don't have Netflix, to be honest with you.
Bill Maher or Joe Rogan?
Bill Maher.
Okay, because
Who's
he's
on
on
Bill
Rogan.
Maher?
Okay.
Dude, I can't stand Joe Rogan. I feel like dumber every time I watch him.
Yeah.
Like 3 hours of Joe Rogan makes you stupider. And I'm not sorry to say that.
Is that a Webster Dictionary word?
No, but I just literally, I feel like I just watched Joe Rogan, so that's why I said that.
I have not seen it either. That's on my honey doo-doo list. But one of the segments I saw was he pretty much reached out to everybody in his past, and the only person he didn't feel comfortable reaching out to was John Cryer, which eventually I think the producer of the movie reached out to Cryer, and Cryer provided a segment.
Yeah.
And he goes, he didn't praise him and he didn't abhor him, but he goes, Charlie Sheen is the reason that I'm bald at 60.
John Cryer is very liberal, very, very liberal. Like I remember watching his interview with, I think, he was on Bill Maher's other Random. What's it called? Club Random.
Club Random, yeah.
And very, very, very left leaning.
Cryer.
Yeah, more, me, I'm kind of left of center, but this guy's way on the other side,
Was Charlie Sheen come out and kind of confessed his political affirmations?
No, he didn't. No, Charlie Sheen, I don't know.
Okay.
But on the show, I just was like, wow, he's very, very,
Gotcha.
liberal, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's just what you are,
Hey, let me ask you this: when we're not drinking beer, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Well, you already know what I'm going to say, Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
But a shout out to Sorry Not Sorry in Las Vegas. If you're ever coming to Vegas, Sorry Not Sorry is amazing.
Is that an ice cream?
Yes, it's so
Where's
good.
that?
They have 3 locations around town. Amazing. And they have my mom can't eat dairy anymore, and they have the best vegan ice cream. You can't even tell it's non-dairy. So my mom's scared to eat ice cream. She's like, no, I don't like what it does to me. And it's vegan, so you can have it, and it's amazing. But they also operate I Heart Burgers.
Okay.
And they have fantastic soft serve at those locations as well.
I mean, baseline, my always flavor is mint chocolate chip. And
Remember when I sent you that picture of the dill pickle beer?
yes.
That's from, they serve it there at I Heart Burgers.
Now, obviously, when Ben & Jerry's first came out 40-something years ago, it hit the scene, and it just kind of was a groundswell of marketing opportunity. And then I remember as a younger man, chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh my gosh, yeah, life-changing. And now if you don't have a chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream in your establishment, you're not a proper ice cream place. So that's just the way it goes now.
I mean, if you're the Deadhead, Cherry Garcia, if you're a fish fan, Phil Lesh, fish food.
What's Stephen Colbert's American Cone Dream?
Yeah,
something like that.
He won an Emmy, right? Just recently.
Yep. And that's a funny thing because in the Emmys, Stephen Colbert was up and Jimmy Kimmel was up.
Okay.
And it was funny because John Oliver was on his show the other day, and he's like, I was hoping Jimmy Kimmel would have won because it would have been Stephen Colbert's last opportunity to win. Can you imagine the look on Jimmy Kimmel's face if he would have beat Stephen Colbert on his very last opportunity to win an Emmy for a show?
So the two men, the social activists that started a generational food thing, I guess that's not the best word I can use, but Jerry Greenfield stepped down from Ben & Jerry's. So Jerry...
Today, right?
Today or yesterday. So
yeah.
Under social discourse, because parent company Unilever that bought them in 2000 for $326 million, we're not seeing eye to eye about where the brand and the company were going.
Well, I mean, we don't get political. I mean, we don't typically get political, but what's going on over there in Gaza is it's just fucking like terrible. Like I know, we know Jewish people, like people from Israel, from working at the pub,
Sure.
and what happened over there was terrible in October, but it's still ongoing, and like what's going on over there is just not good.
Just as you say, and kind of start to wrap this one up because the last one was pretty long. And hey, thank you again.
But like I wanted to add though, like it's not a big surprise that you have a hippie founder that sold out to a mega corporation, and for them not to see eye to eye is
Sure. So when I referenced earlier being at Neon Desert Brewery last week, and Henning and Glenn were starting to ingratiate a little bit more, getting to know each other, and I was kind of standing there orchestrating, and we tasted Barnsley wine from Bob Barnes, who does a local publication here about local brews. Henning looks over at Glenn, just happen chance, and says, Charlie Kirk just got shot.
Oh, really? You were there right then?
Well, I mean, real time.
That's when you heard about it.
Yeah, and then Glenn goes, "Oh, really, Charlie Kirk?" And my response as a tall white man at 49 years old was like, "Who's Charlie Kirk?" Honestly, no idea.
That's great. No, I've known you for a long time, and you are. I am very like I'm very in the know for politics, like because I'm very much not involved per se, but I know what's going on. Unfortunately, I think I wish I wish I could be like you sometimes, and just not having any idea what's going on, because like, not that you don't have any idea, but
Sure.
But
So very quickly, within the next 72 hours, I got up to speed. But I mean, obviously they said other names, and then when I was doing some research for their podcast, Mike Rowe was kind of recording live and was going to do or push out an interview with Theo Vaughn. And then he like diverted to talk to his co-anchor of his show, Micro Works. And then and next thing you know, I have heard of Ben Shapiro, but only from seeing him on Bill Maher's show before.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, they were friends. Okay. And then, and then you can't not see it, right? So,
Yeah.
And then now that's what's consumed the world now for a week.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tragic. It's tragic because two families are just completely broken. Like the shooter, his family is completely broken. Charlie Kirk's family is broken because he's dead. Violence is never, the answer.
Now, did you see that I was reading a blurb this morning that his funeral service is supposed to be at State Farm Stadium in Phoenix Sunday?
Really?
And various heads of state are supposed to be there. So for the Secret Service and Homeland Security, in a very small window of pocket, it's going to be a stress test, if you will, for some of our government agencies, because the additional security involved of people that are going to go there.
Yeah.
And then a short amount of time, I believe, going into this weekend, Trump is supposed to go to the UK for a quick visit.
He's there right now.
Is he there already?
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of it, next week, there's something big with the United Nations and NATO in New York. So we're moving a lot of bodies in about a 96-hour time frame.
Yeah, whatever. I think politics is very divisive right now, because this is so I think social media companies are to blame. They've learned that when you and I were youngsters, sex sold. Everything was about sex.
Yeah.
And they've learned that outrage sells. So like these people sell and package outrage, and that's how people like Charlie Kirk came to prominence.
Maybe we should get salt and pepper on retainer and let's talk about sex. Maybe.
What doesn't sell is like it used to.
Right.
And so that's how these people like Charlie Kirk and like Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro have gained traction is through.
Is he the G word guy? The
Fuentes, yeah. I don't really know much about. But I believe that the main reason these guys came to prominence was because of social media. I had a really good friend, David, that I watched. This is back in 2015, 2016. I watched him go down that rabbit hole, and I saw firsthand what social media can do to people
in a very short amount of time. Yes,
and he kind of came to he got into the what was that what was that show with the Alex Jones?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that show.
InfoWars.
InfoWars, yeah. And yeah, so I don't think without social media and what they've learned about faux outrage, I don't think any of these people, their voices would even matter, to be honest with you.
But it's been kind of crazy in the week today that it happened. You know, I mean, obviously other people talked about the shooting that happened in Colorado the same day, and how that was just basically not pushed under the rug. But you have I was kind of like, you know, when I study this stuff, the metrics of his social media channels in the last week have just
blown up.
Soared, you know?
Yeah, of course, because it's leading to more outrage. Like, you should see these conversations online. People are getting fired for just talking.
Yeah,
it's just insane. And you know, like I said, I blame the social media companies. They're making tons of money off this stuff, and they're making us more and more divided. It's also political influence. Like it's also bad actors like China and Russia and their bots. Like, all you have to do is look at a post and you can say, okay, this post, the username is like 124 ABDC++C, and it's some outrageous thing that and then you go to look at it and it's like 20 posts of nothing but outrage.
Like the people posting on TikTok right now.
We love those guys. There's probably a bunch of bots there too, though. But with the rise of AI, you know, it's crazy. So it's a terrible tragedy. I don't think that any of these people would even have a voice if it wasn't for social media. So love him, hate him, whatever. It's a terrible tragedy. This father has, you know, these kids that don't have a father anymore. But I'll add this, and this is going to be like controversial. He lived a life. He was 32 years old, right?
31.
He got married. He had kids. He was able to live a life of excess. He was rich. He had more access to anything than most people ever get in their entire life. But whenever a kid gets shot and killed at a school, they never even get a chance to live. And when most of the country wants something done about gun laws, most of the country does, 70%, I think.
Yeah.
And nothing gets done because fake outrage, social media, and politicians that have gerrymandered their seats, nothing gets done. So, unfortunately, if you want guns, you're gonna have to deal with it. So Charlie Kirk is just, he's a product of America.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
On that happy note, this message brought to you by Smith & Wesson. Kidding, only kidding.
Hey,
let's wrap it up.
I'm a Glock guy.
So, like, going down these wormholes on YouTube and whatever, what is the toy brand that is like from Japan right now that have these mystery Lulu?
Oh, Labubu.
Labubu.
Yeah, did you see the South Park episode?
I did not.
Oh my gosh, you should watch the clips. It's out of control.
So 3 weeks ago, much like last week, I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. Labubu, I did not know existed. I probably have seen it passively.
Yeah.
Like on people that come through the airport that have them either on their waistbands or on their purses or backpacks. And I'm like, oh, okay, a little furry thing.
I had a guy at the airport like a month ago. He was like, dude, this thing totally gets me chicks, man. He had it on his belt.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was tipping me like $10 a beer. I was like, whatever, dude. Like, come hang out with me. You and your Labubu, come hang out with me anytime.
So now I just kind of watched this one little TikTok of an influencer in Las Vegas, up somewhere around the Chiba Hut on Durango.
Okay.
And there is a arcade-esque where it's got the arm reacher like thing where you put the dollar in and it reaches and you can grab or attempt to grab. Mm-hmm. But they're full of Labubus. Mm-hmm. And it's various, however they're graded, from like the everyday ones to the like more of the.
Basically, what you're saying is it's Pop 2.0.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this one down here that might be an everyday one, it's $1 a chance. Over here, it's like $25 a chance.
Jesus.
And kids are just pouring in there.
Well, dude, you gotta watch the South Park clips. Like, yeah. Anyway, continue.
No, so I see that, and then next thing you know, I'm working at the airport over the weekend, and then there's a larger Labubu that's sitting on the bar top.
Will you say Labubu like 3 times fast?
Labubu, Labubu, Labubu. So, when I was a kid, I rode my bike. I cut myself. I had a boo-boo. But
if you were Spanish speaking, it's Labubu.
Yes. Mexican word of the day. Jesus. But so they have a giant one, but just a larger one. And I'm just like, so there's an official pop store at Planet Hollywood, I believe.
Yeah, there's a. I'm not really familiar with it, but yeah, Pop Mart. It's called Pop Mart.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. For us old folks, Pop Mart means something completely different. It was a U2 concert
Yes, yeah.
back in the early 2000 or in the late 90s.
Anyway, it's just the latest like iteration of a Beanie Baby, or obviously the Funko Pops or whatever. It's just kind of like one of these things where you kind of shake your head, and then you kind of make yourself aware of something, and then 3 weeks later you can't stop seeing it everywhere. So
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a shorter episode than what we had with Mr. Maloney a couple weeks ago, and that one did quite well. Did you see some of the metrics on TikTok with that one?
You got to show me the metrics because I don't have access.
Joe did a great job.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Speaking of, I talked to a couple of our members of our staff about doing like a bartender series, and I thought it would be fun that we could sit down with some of our fellow Republicans and talk bar stories.
What'd you say, Des?
Yeah. Des, come on down, and we'd love to have you.
Fly on out.
Yeah, could you imagine the three? Like, I want to do. What do you guys think about this, especially on TikTok? Do like a casual, series. Get a couple bartenders and just have some beers and sit around the pub and talk for an hour.
Yeah, so like, comment, share. I'm sure some of the subject matter today will get a few things going on the algorithm. This was episode 30. Where do we go from here? Again, if you have any questions, hit us up at questions@vegasdaydrinkers.com. Thanks for tuning in. See you again soon. Sip, socialize, shine.
This is an excellent Hefeweizen, by the way. It really is.
It is.